Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
Okay, there is nothing worse than driving along and seeing that check engine light pop on. It just ruins your day. And if you've plugged in your scanner and it's spitting out a P1621 code, you're probably scratching your head. So let's break it down. Figure out exactly what this code means, why it's showing up, and what you need to do next.
And, the source material says it best. This code can be a real headache. So if you're feeling a bit frustrated right now, hey, you're not alone. But don't worry, because understanding the problem, really getting it, is always the first, most important step to getting your car back on the road.
Right, so first things first, what in the world is this code actually telling us? Let's get right to the core of what this fault is all about.
At its heart, code P1621 is all about one thing: voltage. Specifically, your car's main computer, that's the powertrain control module, or PCM. It's detected something wrong with the voltage on the return circuit for your oxygen sensor. You can think of that O2 sensor as the nose of your exhaust. It's constantly sniffing the fumes to help the computer get that perfect air-to-fuel mix. And when that signal is off, your fuel economy can really take a hit.
Now, your car doesn't just throw this code for no reason. It's not random. There are very specific conditions that have to be met for the computer to say, okay, we've got a problem here. Let's look at exactly what the computer is seeing that makes it flip on that light.
So the first piece of the puzzle is the voltage level itself. The PCM is always watching this circuit, and it's looking for one particular problem. The voltage has dropped way below where it should be. And this is where you see just how precise these systems are. The magic number here, it's 0.96 volts. If the voltage on that O2 sensor circuit dips below that exact number, the first red flag goes up inside the computer.
But wait, a little momentary flicker or a tiny dip isn't enough to cause a panic. The system is smart enough to ignore those small glitches. So the second condition is all about time. This low voltage problem has to stick around for a bit.
And how long is that? Well, the computer has its stopwatch set to 9 seconds. If that voltage stays below 0.96 volts for more than 9 whole seconds, that's it. Game over. The PCM logs that P1621 code and your check engine light comes on. It's not a glitch anymore, it's a confirmed problem.
Okay, so we know what the code means and why it gets triggered. The big question now is what's causing it. Let's get into your diagnostic roadmap and look at the 4 most common culprits behind this code.
The potential suspects really fall into 4 main camps. We could be dealing with a wiring problem like a short circuit. The O2 sensor itself might have just gone bad. In some rarer cases, the main computer, the PCM, could be the issue. And sometimes, it's something as simple as a bad connection. We're going to walk through each one so you know exactly what to look for.
All right, time to put on our detective hats. Let's start the investigation and take these 4 possibilities one by one to see how each of them could be causing that low voltage reading.
First up, a short circuit. See, the O2 sensor needs a specific reference voltage to do its job. If the wire carrying that voltage gets worn out, frayed, and touches the metal frame of the car, that's what we call a short to ground, all that voltage just drains away. The sensor gets starved, the PCM sees the voltage drop, and boom, you get the P1621 code.
The second possibility is a lot more straightforward. The oxygen sensor itself is just, well, dead. It could be shorted out inside or just plain worn out from all the heat and exhaust fumes. If the sensor is busted, it can't send the right signal back to the PCM, and the computer just sees it as a low voltage problem.
Now, every once in a while, the problem isn't the sensor or the wires, but the brain of the whole operation, the PCM. If the module itself is acting up, it might not be sending the right voltage out to the sensor to begin with. This one is definitely less common, but it's something you have to consider for a complete diagnosis.
And finally, we get to what is often the simplest and cheapest fix. It could just be a bad connection, a corroded plug, a pin that's pushed out of the connector. You get the idea. It can stop the right voltage from ever getting to the sensor. This is why you always check the simple stuff first.
So, after going through all those potential causes, what's the big takeaway here? How do you actually go from diagnosing the problem to getting it fixed for good?
This right here is the golden rule. The source material nails it. A thorough diagnosis is the absolute best way to prevent more problems down the road. Don't just start guessing and throwing new parts at it. You got to test the circuit, test the sensor, and be sure about what's wrong before you spend a dime. It'll save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration.
So, as we wrap this up, the big question is now yours to answer. You've got the roadmap, you know what to look for. Is the culprit in your case going to be a simple fix, like a dirty connector you can clean up in 5 minutes? Or is it pointing to something deeper, like a problem in the wiring harness or even the PCM? Well, the detective work starts now.